Greetings everyone and welcome to another Starship review. The mad lads at Cryptic finally gave us a Tier 6 O-berth. Sadly, it does not contain any features related to exploding. That doesn't stop it from being a nice sea store ship offering though. As a bog standard science vessel, it doesn't bring much flair to the table, but it has solid fundamentals and a console to make your head spin. As a full temporal ship, it sports a commander temporal seat and the molecular reconstruction mechanic, which provides several configuration modes and access to the molecular deconstruction beam. An overrated but useful built-in clicky. The Grissom is light on tactical seating but has plenty of room for anomalies. The console layout only has 4 science slots by default, but the fleet version brings it up to 5, and if you get it as part of the new Genesis bundle, you'll get 2 fleet ship modules included. This means that with the Tier 6X upgrade, also included in the bundle, you can have up to 6 science slots. The weapon layout's only a 3-3, but I don't expect more and it's perfectly reasonable for a science vessel. The shield modifier is exceptional at 1.4 baseline, going up to an astonishing 1.52 on the fleet version. Shields get a bad rap due to the focus on Borg content and shield stripping, but for the majority of content, shields are still very useful, and this plucky little sea store ship now boasts the highest shield modifier in the game, including all premium ships. Is the chassis better than the Eternal? In my opinion, no. They both share a lot of the same strengths, but the Eternal has 2 temporal seats, a hangar bay, and slightly more balanced hull and shield modifiers. While the Grissom does have a gargantuan shield modifier, it has a lackluster hull modifier to compensate. Still, they are comparable, but when you're rubbing shoulders with one of the best science ships in the game, that's good company. The console phased space membrane is absolutely bonkers. You get power transfer rate and shield hardness as passives, but the real magic is in the clicky. Once per second for up to 20 seconds, you lose 20 aux power, have your power transfer rate capped at 250%, become immune to kinetic and physical damage, gain 20 damage resistance rating for each second the ability has been active, and 20% Cat 2 torpedo damage for each second the ability has been active. These buffs cap out at 400% if you can make it the full 20 seconds. In case it isn't obvious, those numbers are ludicrous. The problem is maintaining your aux power for that long. However, batteries can help with this, and I really enjoy the fact that this console encourages you to use good old-fashioned subsystem batteries. There's a whole host of subsystem affecting items, traits, and whatnot in the game to experiment with in combination with this console. I obviously haven't tried them all yet. However, if you only grab 5 or 6 seconds off the buff, you're still getting over 100% Cat 2 torpedo damage. Needless to say, it's worth the trouble, and I appreciate that huge numbers like these are accompanied by a counterbalance that requires you to make some other sacrifices so that it isn't just blatant power creep. If you use an aux battery to keep the train going, that also means you aren't using a kinetic amplifier instead. So there is an opportunity cost here. You still get more than you would otherwise, but it isn't as straightforward as it seems. Anyway, I don't want to dwell on it for too long, so let's move on to the trait. The trait, by the book, extends your Bridge Officer anomalies by 2 seconds when using Bridge Officer anomalies or temporal abilities. There are other caveats, like it can't trigger more than once every 2 seconds, and it can only double the normal duration. Frankly, this trait sounds good on paper, but just isn't that great in practice unless you're dealing with waves of enemies or doing some kind of content where you don't move much. Otherwise, enemies will die and you'll have to move on before the need for this trait kicks in. On top of that, Improved Gravity Well already exists, and Gravity Well is the most popular and useful Bridge Officer anomaly. I'm not saying the trait is useless, but it has a very niche use case that would cause me to pick it over other options. And with that, we come to the ratings. In terms of performance, the Grissom has everything I want in a science vessel. Sure, it could have more, but there's no major downside, so I'm giving it 5 stars. In terms of accessories, the Bananas console automatically grants it 5 stars. The trait would probably clock in at a 2 or a 3 at best for me, but thankfully it isn't resting on that verdict. I wish they had at least included some kind of nod to the exploding meme, like a ship device that self-destructs or something, but at least they added it to the game, and it turned out to be a damn good ship. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.